This is also fine.
Okay, Tryndamere is going to be the way.
This is a great change to their comp. Now they can all in on pushing super hard in the Senna. With all this frontlining and pick potential, we'll have really no threats.
Well, Sejuani being considered here. Of course, Sejuani did make her debut last week in the jungle. Was it Cuz that did it as well? Ooh, KT fans out in force today. Cuz once again representing the Zoids as Life being encroached on. Dread is going to bully Cuz around here in this early stage of the game. You can see, going to move on up and look to try and steal some of these rocks as well. Gets a high value stab through there. As meanwhile on the bottom side of the map, there's a Abyssal dive that's going to work beautifully, and First Blood goes over to Effort. What a difference for this Nongshim, picking up a 2v2 kill. Ghost and Effort Wolf. Who would have predicted that? And Dread moving up here towards the top side of the map. Let's see whether the chickens are going to work. And yes, Rascal's going to get slowed down. Ghosts popped on both sides, but it's not going to be enough. And First Blood goes to Canna.
On the top side of the map from Dread. As we look down here, we'll look for a W. Gets the root, and then they pair it with the dive perfectly. That's the end of the story. I think even without, or even using flash, you don't get out of that one. Well played there. The root just going to prevent that counterplay. As this is just a really well-timed gank. Does, of course, commit the flash to get the stun. Easy peasy.
Yeah, not too bad at all.
And this Ahri, we talked about what it can do, but it becomes less and less oppressive over time unless you could snowball lead, and they did not.
Well, it's a great charm, as Vikla takes a bit of damage, but not exactly going to get the most here is
no
Rift Herald. Not going to get secured just yet. Double teleports coming through at exactly the same spot as Effort's going to immediately flash to avoid the grand entrance. They do manage to secure this, but can they win the team fight is the question. Glacial Prison goes down. Canna soaks all of the CC though and picks up the kill onto the Corki. He will get taken down in the end, but Rascal is going to suffer the same fate. Oh, just barely missing the charm as BDD dashing forward with the Foxfire and the Spirit Rush.
This is where Nongshim are feeling great. They have the choke point set up here as well.
Yeah, package available though. There's no chickens because the Mocking Shout's not going to work out there. I sometimes use the actual ability name, but not often. Canna taking a bit of damage here from Rascal on the side, though, is KT going to pressure the top laner away. Dread as well. Gonna have to get into multiple forms of mist that Ghost can put out and he can make himself.
They're trying to time this package out, and they're being so patient about it. Look at the Senna value in these neutral fights.
Well, let's see whether Dread can actually get the steal here, as it should be a 50-50, as, yep, fair bit. Nope, Cuz going to be able to lock that one down. Vikla delivers the package, and that stops Dread from being able to get in there. Nicely done. Effort now looking to start a fight, though, as Orb of Deception comes through. BDD over the wall as the Everfrost gets the stun, but Nongshim just going to back away. I like this version of Dread, though. We are seeing the aggro Dread, who's just standing in the face of his opposition and not moving. It's been sometimes a bad thing, but sometimes a good thing as well, as he's going to try and get out of the way here. Grand Entrance comes forward as Dread still staying in amongst it. There's the Dawning Shadow. Massive amounts of CC, but not a whole lot of damage as VDD misses the Orb of Deception, and Effort looks to try and get out of here. Dread going to successfully leave as well as that charm goes wide. Cuz pretty tanky there as well, but Orb of Deception not enough to do. Now, meta pick right now, it does mean that aiming will also be able to do some added poke damage, as Cuz will slow down Effort, but he's looking to dive his way forward. Canna in amongst three people as Life is going to be struggling here. Foxfire, Spirit Rush, everything used by BDD to do a whole bunch of damage as Cuz will be devoured. Pork for lunch here as aiming throws through the Super Mega Death Rocket, but it does not do enough. Another Q is going to connect there as the Tom Kench is going to go down, but Effort just trying to tank up as much as he can. Tanking this turret, not necessarily the greatest of moves as aiming. I don't think he's going to be able to stop this as Dread gets his way out.
So it ends up being a 3-for-1 here, but Ping's on the top side repeatedly as Nongshim realized that Corki is going to get an inner turret here for free.
And he's definitely been a big focus as Dread moving on over here as Cuz starting to get a bit hypey, but Canna thinks it's exactly the right time. The Abyssal Dive comes through. They're trying to hard force this engage as Vikla goes golden. Canna pops the ulti now, and he's looking to try and escape. Super Mega Death Rocket doesn't hit the Tryndamere. As Rascal in that front line. Dread not going to find the stun here. As Nongshim look to back away into Fog of War.
This is a great position for Nongshim, though. They have the choke point controlled, and they have all that Senna healing. They're actually out
this Drake is already dead.
Yep. Nongshim are so happy with this fight, and this is Tryndamere doing exactly what he needs to do. He forces Vikla back. He forces him to stopwatch. He has to flash.
Cuz going to get knocked up as Effort dives on top of him. He'll be snared as well as they are just trying to take down his Baron, and he can't smite it if he's... What the heck just happened? Aiming picks it up with the Super Mega Death Rocket. We were saying that Nongshim had the perfect setup.
I mean, it was basically perfect, except they didn't block the rocket. And Cuz has, of course, no ability to get over that wall, and he was getting chain seized either way, like a pendulum, so quickly back into their favor.
Well, there's a ghost from Rascal as decent knockups to come through here. A lot of damage, and Aiming just gets punished for stealing away that Baron. Cuz now trying to run away. Canna successfully escapes, and the Sejuani will go down. Effort looking for even more as they're flashing forward. BDD does have a charge or two left on this Spirit Rush, and he is going to be able to throw that one forward. Rascal not long for this world, and not very immune Gwen right here as Dread is going to be able to find him, and my goodness, Effort has been unleashed on this game. What?
This has been the best game of Nongshim this entire season by a large margin.
100%, I agree.
So good this game, so well coordinated around the Ahri Tryndamere dive, threatening both carries from different angles with the vision control they have. And they do it again. Kana's had a fantastic game on this Tryndamere.
And also vital to this composition. It's KT, a lot of vision in these brushes as Kana, ulti back off cooldown of course. As Ghost is doing very well, avoiding a lot of this. As there it is, the Abyssal Dive to come down. And once again, BDD finds the flank. Vikla down to his GA already as the fight is well and truly off. As now Ghost finding the back line there, has to flash to get out of the way of Rascal, who's now just going to try and kill the Senna, but has the rest of the fight been okay? Because look at BDD finding Aiming once again in the back line. Dread dashing forward, Heartbreaker, and KT are most definitely heartbroken. Rascal finds himself once again the last man standing, as somehow Ghost even survived in the back line, and Nongshim will win this game.
I cannot even believe how well they fought both of these last exchanges. We won't even need to see an Elder Smite fight versus Rockets, as Nongshim are going to take a very convincing lead. And it was tempo advantages, pushing their leads, and actually preventing KT Rolster from getting back into this game.
Unbelievable stuff, and that honestly just put the game in the bag for them. And we said it from the very beginning, right? Nongshim, with this composition, they have to be the ones making the plays, no matter what the game.
So yeah, I completely agree with you and with KT's choice here. The Ornn, super obvious.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
The Effort Pike is going to come out.
This is a very risky choice here for Nongshim.
Our faith will be rewarded. KT fans, once again, extraordinarily loud. And it survives as KT looking for a bit of an invade. You can see Canna's going to move back down, and yeah. See whether we actually get a bit of a battle here, as it is going to be a 2v2. Cuz fighting the red buff as well, though. As Dread moves on over, Cuz trying to get him out of here. As a fight here towards the bottom side. Flash out from Effort already. In the meanwhile, here at the Brambleback, Dread's getting pushed out once again, as they are going to get the reset. Canna's going to move to lane. This is such a weird start to this game already.
Is. But Effort had to flash bottom side, so flash for Ignite is a win in the 2v2. And Azir should be the winner here of this rotation up.
Yeah, he is going to be able to get in there as Cuz looking to try and turn it before he gets in, but BDD is going to be able to make his way over. Level 1 for absolutely everyone as Canna dashes over the wall. The flash out from Cuz. He's taking a lot of damage here as BDD with the Airy trying to get the work done. They have no vision, and Cuz is going to have to give up on this yet again, and another reset on this red buff.
All right, so it's a 4v4 game of League of Legends, I guess.
Some yakety sacks here, Wolf. Some yakety sacks.
There's just not going to be any junglers this game, as Vikla did not. I mean, he left, but he knew he was not going to make a big impact there. Rotated back down pretty early. A tight Drake, but it will be taken, secured like the pillar there, just in case. Dread was hoping to come in there and look for a smite steal. Yep. Would have been ill-advised. Ooh, nice grab at him.
Yep, Bone Skewer is going to connect there, though, as Life is taking a lot of damage. There's the escape from Effort, trying to heal himself back up again as Life is very low. Aiming's the target for Ghost. Dread looking to take down Life, and he will do so. And Aiming, yep, not going to get bailed out this time around as Cuz throws down the pillar, but we've just got the Vault Breaker. And Dread gets himself out of there. 2 kills already for Nongshim as Rascal's fighting Canna, or is Canna fighting Rascal? He does manage to headbutt his way out with the Searing Charge, but Canna gonna win out in the trade. Yeah, Effort is gonna move up, and he gets there before Life will get in. Canna also able to move over now as Effort's real fast as he's running in this river. Let's see whether he can find it. Does get the snare as Canna in there as well. BDD, a lot of damage with the Emperor's Divide. Knockup only lands onto Canna as the Needlework is now coming out. The Rift Herald's also being frustrating as Rascal is going to be able to take down BDD in the backline, but Canna gets rid of the rest of KT. And I believe Nongshim locked up the Rift Herald as well. Yep, and it's even better for KT this time around than it was in Game 1, right? Because they've got the on. Is Effort going to be looking for a flank onto Aiming here, but he may just go down. They're fighting each other as Effort's just going to get taken out. Dread now, he has the ulti, but he can't use that to escape, and Aiming's just going to chase after him. That's an easy double kill for the bottom lane of KT, and Nongshim are in shambles.
I mean, BDD is in Narnia right now. Like, he was trying to come over here and help. He's got teleport so he can get back to lane, but it's going to be after a plate goes down, and he lost his teleport for this.
Or it might be a solo kill for Rascal as he flashes on top of him. Oh, the snip is going to do it, and Canna fights back.
Action all the time as we're going to go back to this 1v1. So the W is used early here, which is why Rascal feels pretty confident he could trade this, does get the knock up here. And charges away, and after the last Needlework is used, he thinks, okay, with this Bell's Breath, I'm actually going to be able to flash, get this kill. But
Brittle is normally so powerful, but...
With the Brittle there, he's just not enough damage, and the Qs afterwards, and obviously that's the end of it. If he kills there with the flash forward...
This outer turret is going to go down. As the Rift Herald does get that auto in, as now the ulti comes through onto Rascal. He's in a bit of trouble, but the rest of the team's coming around, and he's very tanky. Dread trying to get out, but he just can't. There's too much displacement. So much damage to come through, but the Emperor's Divide is pretty good. Canna trying to throw through the Needlework, but it's not going to be enough, as now Ghost trying to be the hero here, but it's so difficult. It's a triple kill for Vikla, and he gets bailed out. Is that an ace? Ridiculous here from KT.
As Vikla does not know how much danger he's in.
He is very dead, as that is going to be the Assault and Battery. Vikla's taking a lot of damage. Effort's going to be roaming up as well.
That's a huge
Life not able to get in range, and that may have actually killed him as Effort finds a beautiful Bone Skewer. Ghost is dead on the opposite side, though, as Life tries to bail himself out, but it's not going to work. Bail was just a little bit too expensive for the Renata this time around, as KT are going to return to pushing the mid lane.
There's a lot of words I could use to describe this game, but clean would not be one of them. Would not be in the list. Yeah, there were a lot of things that didn't need to happen there. Speaking of things that only need to happen.
Well, that Bone Skewer hitting, that's going to force Vikla to stun himself, and he's definitely dead. Vault Breaker gets a nice knockback there, as Emperor's Divide is not going to work under Cuz, because he can't move him through gigantic walls. And it's Dread that's going to pay the price for it. Aiming comes on in, helps out. It's going to be Rascal that gets the kill, though, and Canna had no teleport. They knew that.
And that puts the rest of Nongshim kind of on the wrong side of the rift, so they at least are able to trade that one kill back. We're just going to start a Baron, though.
Yeah.
I mean, we have Aphelios damage. Crescendum is ready.
Heck yeah. It's not a secret, but yeah, red-white, dangerous guns. As the turn here from KT is also absolutely terrifying. BDD looking to move in. Dread's still dead, of course. As Rascal's going to get Bone Skewered out. He does die. Can they actually lock this one up, though? Oh my god! The Baron is secured by Cuz, but at what cost? Ladies and gentlemen, well, the answer is not too much, because it's a triple kill for the 200 years.
Call from KT. And unfortunately for Nongshim, like, they're just a little bit too little too late in this situation, in this fight. It's like everyone's just running into the pit, like, hoping to throw this game for Baron.
Well, now we're going to go fight again, as the Assault and Battery onto Aiming is just going to mean that he dies a little bit faster, as BDD's teleported in. Now he's looking for the Aphelios, who's kiting so beautifully. The handshake comes through onto the Gwen, and she's dead. BDD off to the side trying to fight Rascal. That is never going to work out, as Ghost is trying to run away, but it's not going to work. A third of his health bar evaporates at the hands of this Aphelios, who is way too big.
Oh, the Ornhorn!
Oh, the Ornhorn, and it picks up the kill!
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, the Scryer spots him. And then BDD just turns around.
Well, I mean, yeah, and also there were minions there, so it wasn't a vision play. Okay, Searing Charge, not going to work out. This time, Rascal's dead. Well, I mean, it's going to take a while, but he will eventually die.
I feel like we're watching this game from the past, like, or from the future, like and that's with Renata defensive ult, with Pillar, with Ornhorn.
Well, Effort is probably just dead. He is flashing, but yeah, it's not going to work out. This means Mountain Soul for Ornn Trundle. Ghost is going to have to Feather Storm. I don't think that's going to save him as the Pillar of Filth fantastically placed. Vikla flashes. Not sure about that one, but the Ornhorn's brilliant. Ghost is still alive. Hostile takeover is going to come through. Emperor's Divide is huge, but BDD's going to have to go golden. Dread trying to hold on to his life. It's another fantastic Pillar, and I think aiming is just that little bit too strong. As Ghost is backing, Dread is running. And KT will win the fight in the end.
KT win the fight in the end. The Soul is live, and Ghost over here teleporting on the flank.
If he can sneak the Soul, that is actually really cool. Definitely provided a whole lot of great value with his flanks last time around, but
I mean, if he can do it this time when there's no GA for Vikla.
Well, the rest of the team's moving on in here as well as Dread has found the Aphelios. Hostile takeover is trying to keep him alive here as the Corki takes down the Vibe. But Vikla going to be able to do so much damage before he dies. And aiming also gets the fadeaway kill there as now Ghost. Yeah, nothing he can do about this because there are 2 carries on KT, and you only killed one of them. This is going to be the end of the game. KT will even out the series.
Yeah, exactly what we were saying. If you can't kill both, you can't win the game, and it was the best try they could have hoped for. A long con flank play, all the way wrapped around, and by the time they killed Vikla, he had done all of his kit's worth of damage and then some. And that'll be 1,000 kills for Aiming, who pops off on the Aphelios.
Oh my goodness, right at the end as well. Nexus dies and Aiming picks up his 1,000th kill. So we're going to have a look at some of the damage numbers here. You can imagine Vikla and Aiming doing a whole lot of work. But it was actually Ghost and BDD that did the most in the game.
Now, this Sejuani pick with Viego is one that we've seen so often instead of going down that Gangplank path. It's arguably safer with a pretty fragile composition that KT are running. So I see the power of the Gangplank and the laning, but I see the power of Sejuani in just well-rounded compositions that protect, or compositionally that protects the Corki and Ezreal here.
Alright, let's see how we go. KT making their way out onto the Rift. Rascal with a different chroma choice on his Zoids Sejuani. Yeah, Kuz is going to move over, and the big ones have been taken here by the Wukong. As Kuz are going to try and pressure him away. Rascal with the inside track might be able to get a Warrior Trickster here, as Dread uses it extraordinarily late, and now he's burning down. Kuz looking to try and catch up here. And that's just a disaster. Flash eventually comes out as Rascal's getting kited a little bit. Winter's Wrath not going to do it, but the stab from Kuz is going to be there. BDD is going to turn up as well, looking to try and turn this as Kuz gets the passive and now enters the brush. BDD, can you actually get the rest of the damage here as Canna is on half an HP? It is actually able to stay alive in this moment, 1-for-1 up to the top side.
And Flash available. So let's see how well he handles this pressure, as they're 100% going to dive him.
Oh yeah, in goes Effort, finds the knock-up. There's the Frozen Super. Immediately the cleanse is pretty good. Still, Q going to be enough there as BDD locks down the kill, grabs the plate, and Kuz comes over a little bit late.
Yeah, if he flashes the Grand Entrance there, perhaps he survives, but wanted to hold on to his flash to the last possible second as Rascal's going to look for an all-in.
Yeah, there's the Glacial Prison as Rascal slowed down there a little bit, but does manage to get the flash in trade for all of his summoner spells as well.
Picked up for their jungler, but it's just not enough of a lead here for Nongshim. With 2 Drakes the leader here for KT, you really have to favor their position right now.
Well, Dread gets over the wall here. There's the Cyclone. Fantastic Grand Entrance yet again, and I've seen that play before. This time it works out even better.
Well, Vikla, once again, just a little bit out of position. Clean's not going to save him in this case. Doesn't even waste it. Will go down. Rascal's the new target.
Yeah, there's the Grand Entrance. Doesn't quite find it. But still, it's going to create enough space in order to guarantee this outer turret on the bottom side. So that will be 2 turrets to 0 in favor of Nongshim, who have just had a lot of control of this map. Playing it very nicely as BDD looking for Vikla. Doesn't get his cleanse, interestingly enough, as Vikla just stands his ground, kind of respect it.
Yeah, gotta be careful though.
There's the claw, and Vikla kind of outplaying it, not gonna lie. There's the Valkyrie forward, goes Golden with his stopwatch as BDD. Oh, the rocket, so close. He's learned from the previous couple of deaths, but now has his flash cleanse back available. Here's a teleport in from Canna. Not a lot of Naba, but fair bit of time to make it work as the boomerang is going to land. Life is there as well, but Vikla is definitely the target. BDD flashes, but it's a decent ulti. Oh no, the Glacial Prison goes wide. It's a very dead Corki. The Narbak is fantastic as well. As the Yumi's gonna go down, it's 3 kills already for Nongshim. They're making the comp work.
They're making the comp work again, and they punished this time really hard. And we talked about how Vikla is being escorted by this
KT. They do not want this to go down, and they want Soul Point as well.
On the flank.
Well, package going to be delivered to Canna, who does get a decent Nara from it. There is a Nara into the wall, gets himself away as well. As now Nongshim gonna pressure them away. BDD is just so powerful in this front line. Ghost though, you need to watch out. Battle Dance gets effort out of the way. These Mystic shots sneaking through are buying KT so much space.
And they're crushing the fight for him.
Yeah, and the claw is gonna bring BDD out, but there's a Glacial Prison that's gonna land. Dread does manage to use his Warrior Trickster to get them out of the way. Ghost has to ult early though, and KT have bought themselves control of this Drake pit, and I think that's 100% on aiming and landing all of those Mystic shots so beautifully. Dread gets in though and steals it all away! Cuz gonna be taken out as well as Vikla evaporated sometime in that fight, I'm not even sure when. And Ghost just obliterates him. Aiming's doing the gromp, but that's about all he can do right now. Okay. Oh dear, Aiming has found Canna, or has Canna found Aiming is the question. And yeah, I think Canna's found Aiming. Rascal picks up a cat on a book, but he gets hit with a house. And now BDD's chasing him down. Circle of Frost is too good. That's another nah. As Life is like, I'm out of here. I'm done with Rascal's wild ride. But unfortunately, on this KT roller coaster, you cannot get off.
KT just lost the game off of this one, and they made 2 assumptions back to back. The first one was that having Rascal topside, and suddenly we're like, oh, okay, wait, we just gave over so many kills. We took 2 poor fights.
Well, here's a nah. As Canna is just going to wallop Rascal. Permafrost comes down as Rascal, let's see whether he can hit the ultimate here as the rest of the team's rotating over. Winter's Wrath comes down as they get the flash. And there it is. That's all too easy. They line it up with the Yuumi ult. In the meantime, everyone is diving top lane. And Vikla trying to keep himself alive. Few turret shots more than Effort would like to take do go down, but as now Dread, can he do it? Effort has popped the quickness just to zone them out of the way as there's the Gnar. And the double knock-up from Effort as well. Final chapter coming down though, as Aiming's relatively safe. The Cyclone doing a fair bit of work here as Dread tries to get that decimating smash down, but no one on Nongshim is dying yet. Aiming is still at full health though, as this inhibitor eventually will go down. Dread's gonna get flashed on as Aiming wants to take this game into his own hands. The base is completely in shambles. But is this going to be enough as Ghost tries to outplay, but it does not work. Teleport to come back from Canna as Aiming. It's 1 versus 3, Canna. This is so dangerous, but yes, BDD is going to come back, and he locks down the kill onto Cuz. Oh, the Frozen Thralls are now chasing them down as there are 3 inhibitors dead. KT, can you defend your base?
I mean, they have so many minions to deal with here, but the Nexus turret still being up gives them a fighting chance here. Vikla's got a big one. Nongshim being so indecisive. They could have actually pulled the trigger and tried to collapse and win this fight while they knew Rascal was missing. Force him to teleport in, but they just let the Baron leash. KT says thank you for the time. Package still up, but it's timing out.
Well, Dread's now caught in the Baron pit for some reason. Warrior Trickster's on cooldown. He has to use the Cyclone defensively as there's the package. Final chapter, Dread. Oh my goodness, that rocket would have been his death. There's a knock-up, gets into the backline. The GA on Cuz is already down. This fight is an absolute disaster as Canna finds a huge Gnar. The house is gonna hit Aiming as well as the GA will bring Dread back alive again, but immediately he's just going to die. Aiming trying to kite this one out as Vikla and himself. It's them against the world right now as BDD, Ghost, and Effort try to defend as best they can. Effort gets on forward, Aiming's gonna go down. And Ghost now should be able to do enough here as Rascal, this Baron as well, following suit right here as Cuz still making his way over. Oh, Drade is going to get interrupted immediately. Vikla, so much damage from this Corki, and they cannot get onto him. He is going to be taken down as KT. Oh, it's an absolute disaster for Nongshim as Ghost with the Featherstorm, but it's going to be an ace. And KT will win the game against all odds. In the end, the Corki is going to pay off.
The Corki, the Ezreal, yeah, we did see Aiming die in that last fight, but just had enough time to respawn and come over and help carry this fight as Nongshim were decisive at the very end when it was already too late, but it was the wrong call. They could have played that part a little bit slower. KT punished them. The range problem really coming through here once again at the end. When KT get this late game fight, they will steal the series away. Not the way KT fans expected this one to go, but they will be able to take it 2-1. This happened within the T1 series in week 1, where Nongshim had T1 completely dead, completely shut down, botched the execution of how to end the game, and then T1 wins it. I think it happened against Sandbox as well. Like, there's 3 memorable games now for Nongshim where they had...
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason for the POG interview translation, joined by the solo POG of KT Roaster, Aiming. Today was a matchup between two teams tied for 2 wins and 4 losses. A very decisive series to kind of define the standings of the LCK. How do you feel about getting your first winning streak of the split? I mean, yeah, we started off with a long losing streak, but last time we got a victory finally, and now it's the beginning of our winning streak. I got some good feelings today, so I'm so glad and happy about the result. Not only that, Amy, you also got your 1000th kill of the LCK. Congratulations. And you were the unanimous POG back-to-back in today's series. What do you feel about that? Well, to be honest, I really wanted to hit my 1000th kill of the LCK, but there were so many, experienced players who got that record. So I was like, yeah, maybe one day if I, perform long as a pro player, maybe I'll be able to accomplish that. And I'm so proud of myself right now. I think both teams actually stick to a very kind of standard and similar playstyle and theme. Well, Nongshim Red Force was always trying to go aggressively with their picks, whereas KT Roaster always looked for the scaling power of Corki. I think Vikla is a very talented player, so we wanted to let him play hyper carry picks like Corki. Well, our draft didn't really go like the best scenario all the time, but today we were able to win thanks to the late game carry of Vikla's Corki. Well, but in Game 2, we were able to see KT Roaster getting that victory with the Felius late game carry, and you are undefeated on that pick so far. Yeah, I heard about it yesterday. And you were the first unanimous POG on Felius in game number 2. So tell me about your confidence in that pick. I mean, Felius has a great kind of damage output. I think he's OP these days. Is there any key to playing Aphelios that well? I can say that Aphelios is one of the most kind of difficult AD carry picks, to be honest, but you really have to pay attention to kind of changing your ammos prior to the team fights. I guess that's really hard to pull off, right? I guess, yeah, maybe. And that kind of showcased how well versed you are on that pick. And KT player played Corki for 3 games in a row, and it was a very early Corki lock-in. And today you guys were able to finally get a win on that Corki series. I think KT Roaster as a whole kind of prefer Corki a lot, and also Vikla has a huge confidence in that pick. Tell me about how KT Roaster rate that champion right now. We got kind of bullied by Corki in the past, and we kind of realized that it's too strong, so we wanted to play it on our end as well. In Game 3, the opponent locked in Zarya comp, and you guys reacted with Ezreal Yuumi, and you guys were able to lead the lane, in fact. Tell me about that matchup. It's more about, both kind of bottom duo left on their own devices, but I think Yumi is a pretty good champion, and also we had so many bans to the marksman picks, so we ended up just getting that comp. So it was more about who has the stronger top side. So I was rather like praying for my top side to win. And just like you said, the early game for KT Roaster was not that easy. You know, it was in favor of Dongsin Radforce, in fact. So did you kind of feel the responsibility to carry the late game? Well, you know, AD carries is always the one that carries the late game, so I try to focus up in order to bring my team to victory later on. The game was really close and intense, you know, it was neck and neck. And then in the late, maybe the very last team fight, Rakan was really low. And then it turned out Dongsin Radforce was the one trying to open team fight when their support was so low. So we were able to kind of punish their over-aggression. Now you guys solidified your spot on the 6th place, and you guys have Kwangdong Freaks ahead of you as your next opponent, and you'll be facing off Teddy on the bottom lane. Teddy, definitely, he's a great player, and I like him a lot. You know, I'm looking forward to the matchup. I think Kwangdong Freaks are bringing a lot of new stuff with their draft, and their strategy is really on point. So I really think that we have to prepare so hard for that matchup. And that's gonna be it from aiming, and back to the casters. Thank you.